I feel like every show that I've written for, I'm proud of what I've written, and I've had great experiences. I had an amazing experience with my first pilot. It was called Can Openers, and it was about neurosurgery residents, and it was based heavily on my experiences of being the girlfriend of someone who was in neurosurgery. And that experience, just top to bottom, of working with the network, the studio, everyone involved, was such a great experience. I remember thinking at the time, sitting on set while they're filming it, I remember thinking, I'm like, even if this show doesn't get picked up, which it didn't, I was like, I'm so proud and happy. Like, I can't believe I get to do this. And it was an amazing experience, not just to see it kind of get shot, but also just the growth that I experienced as a writer, having to oversee something like that and making it happen was a really amazing experience. I've also had amazing experiences after my dad passed and I was on Law and Order. I went through a period where I kind of felt like I kind of a little lost because I had been writing for my father. I realized a lot of the writing cop shows, a lot of the stories that I were telling were my father's stories or for my father. And so when he passed and I was on Law and Order, I was kind of like, who am I writing for now? And after that season, I was offered an opportunity to write for a show called Ghost Whisperer. And I was like, I totally get it. I went on that show because I understood. I was like, I understand the need for people to feel like, I don't believe in ghosts, but I understand why people do, because you don't want to let someone go. And I really didn't want to let my dad go. And I went on that show because I was in a place where it's like, I get it. I get why people would watch this show. I get why I want to watch this show, because I want to write stories for my dad in a different way now. And I got to do some amazing episodes on that show. It's funny because I'm really proud of that show. I know for some people they think Ghost Whisperer and it seems really cheesy and corny, but it was such an amazing experience. I got to write a show about a reincarnated ghost, which was kind of infused with a lot of the characteristics of my father. I wrote a show about an autistic ghost, and just all of the things that I got to do on that show, the themes and ideas that I got to explore on that show really jived and gelled with where I was personally. That year, it was a bizarre year for me because my father passed, and then towards the end of the year, my marriage broke up, so I was getting a divorce. So a lot of that show I was writing about, like, what is love? And when I watch the old episodes, I can see like a certain period of my own life. But I'm really proud of that show because I felt like within the confines of that very particular formula, I was able to express a lot of myself.